Good evening. This is New Earth Angel, and tonight I wanted to share a little bit of, a little bit of information. And I had a conversation with a young person earlier today, and it was in regards to relationship. And basically, the person is interested in, you know, expressing their love and being in a place where they're supporting their partner, but they have a partner who is in need of perhaps some counseling, um, but definitely cannot be rescued by another person because they're dealing with their own internal issues. And so is the person who they're in relationship with. And so when I think about that, I think about the fact that sometimes we're in relationships and you know, we love a person and we see that they're struggling in their life with something. And although we have our own issues, we're trying to be there for someone else. And it's important to know that sometimes, you know, trying to be there for someone else can be detrimental to your own health, to your own mental stability, to your own well being, especially when that person has an issue that is beyond just a person giving them encouragement. That person has to realize when they need assistance. And if they're not willing to see that, it's nothing you're going to be able to do to really help that person or be there for that person, because now it becomes codependent. It becomes an issue where it's almost like you're doing everything you can to, you know, appease this person and keep them upbeat and whatever. And whenever they have an issue, guess what? They're going to call you because you're the one that will take the time out to stroke them and caress them. And if they feel like lashing out, they end up lashing out at you for even trying to help them. And sometimes, making it seem like it's a situation much worse than what it really is, so that you'll drop everything and put your full focus on them. And sometimes it's because they're not happy with their life and they see that you are going on with yours and you're doing well and you have an opportunity to prosper without them or in spite of their situation. But I submit to you, if you are a young person who is not married, you don't have any obligations to anyone, especially if you don't have any children with them and you're not married, and they're already displaying, you know, issues that are beyond just a conversation where they actually might need some mental help or some counseling of some sort, you have to be able to recognize that. Because if you don't, then it becomes your problem. Whoever you're with, if they have an issue, if you're with them long enough, their issue becomes your issue. Their issue becomes your issue on top of whatever you're dealing with in your own life. Because mind you, you still got your own life that you have to tend to. And if that person needs you to help them tend to their life, they can't help you tend to yours. Let's say that again. If the person you're with needs you to assist them with their life, they don't have anything to give you to help you assist them. You assist in your own business. So guess what? You try and take care of their business and your business. That's codependency. And your needs are not getting met. And yeah, we talk about love, love, love. Love is a beautiful thing. But love is not enough. Love is not enough because it takes two people being in love. It takes two people being healthy. And yes, you can love one another and it not be healthy. We're talking about healthy love over here. Not toxic love, healthy love. Now, if you want toxic love, keep doing that old stuff. But if you really want some real healthy love, you got to know what it looks like. And the best way to know what it looks like is start directing some healthy love towards yourself by taking care of your own needs, by knowing what it is you need so that you make sure you're in the right place. Truth be told, if you're running around trying to rescue somebody, you got an issue. Ain't no sugarcoating it, ain't no beating around the bush. If you going around trying to rescue someone, you got a problem. And that problem could be in the way of attachment, abandonment issues. But that means you need to take some time to figure out who you are and where your patterns lie. Which means you ain't got time to rescue nobody. Because you already have identified that you have something that you need to be working on. And that person got to be willing to take time to work on themselves. See, some people they not willing to take time to look at themselves, but they're real quick to have you come and trying to rescue them. What do you look like trying to rescue them when they not even trying to rescue them? I'm not fussing at anybody. I'm just saying it because it's so prevalent out here. And I'm not saying it to to act like I know everything or whatever, but I've experienced these same things, and here it is after living through these things and being on the other side and haven't had time to reflect on it and pull the lessons out of it and move on. That stuff has been way behind me. That's why I can speak on it right now. If you're in your 20s, the last thing you should be concerned with is trying to rescue anybody. Okay? I don't care if they are calling you, threatening to do this, that, and the other to themselves. That means they don't care enough about themselves. And while you trying to rescue them, you could end up falling victim. Because some people think, oh, well, if I break up with them, they going to do thus and so. If I tell them the truth, they might not be able to take it. So that means you need to live in a lie? That tells you that ain't the person for you. If you can't tell them the truth and you're afraid that they going to do something based on your actions, that means they controlling you. You might as well be a puppet. Not a puppet on strings, but you're a puppet by emotions. They call you and tell you this going on with them and this going on with them, and you dropping everything, knowing that your livelihood is at stake. That's crazy. Your livelihood at stake. You dropping everything to go over here and tend to somebody else fake bogus problems. And even if they got a problem, they not trying to address it themselves. Because instead of calling you and throwing their burdens on you, they should be looking to figure out their own issues. And as soon as they get you distracted, soon as you jump over in the hole with them and become, the now you got the same problem they got. Their problem is your problem. They don't even care. Because guess what? They're going to keep on moving because they used to living with those problems. And now you weighed down. You done neglected your own business, your own body, your own well-being to follow this person and trying to rescue somebody who ain't trying to be rescued. And they are accustomed to living in this craziness, which is their life. You got to be able to see when you're being manipulated. I just had to pause right there. You have to see when you're being manipulated. You have to be able to determine what a person's motives are in your life. I don't care how long you've been together. If you have some angst, some discomfort, you feel like you're on a roller coaster, that's not how relationship is supposed to be. You hear a lot of songs and you watch a lot of TV shows and they talk about struggle love. Forget struggle love, okay? Forget struggle love. You need to figure out what it is you need in your life, and you need to figure out what it is you want to add to your life. But first, it starts with you. And you're not going to know what you need if you're always trying to figure out what somebody else needs. That person ain't even concerned about what you need. They trying to get their needs met. So whenever they need their ego stroked or they want to feel like they mean something to somebody, they call you. They disrupt what you got going on and you drop everything to the detriment of your own future. To go off traipsing behind somebody who ain't even trying to fix their problems. No one is responsible for fixing another person's problems. Nobody is responsible for fixing someone else's problems. People gotta want to do that for themselves. And if you're in your 20s or your 30s or whatever, and you don't have any kids and you're not married, you don't owe anybody anything. If you're dating, you're not married. Let's get that straight. If you're dating, you're not married. You're dating. So people that are dating should not be getting marriage privileges. And long before you even start trying to get into a serious relationship with an outside person, you need to be in a serious relationship with yourself. Because how you going to know what you want when you're broken? And how you know you broken? Cause you got broken relationships. You got broken people that you in a relationship with. Cause if you can look at a person and say, "Oh, he this or she that," you complain about them. Guess what? You complaining about yourself. Cause you are the one in a relationship with them. So don't think when you go around in your circles and you talk bad about your partner or your exes, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of you. How can I say that? Because I know firsthand. And when I got tired of hearing, it's like I was hearing myself complaining about my ex, and I'm thinking, like, I'm even tired of hearing it. What else you got going on other than that? All these years later, you still complaining about that? Yes, I was still complaining about it because I felt justified. Oh, yeah, they did this and they did that. And it was true. They did do this and they did do that. And it was wrong. And it was hurtful and it was painful. But how long are you going to stay there? It don't benefit you. Because guess what? He was still going on with his life. Still. So I could stay there balled up in the floor, 20 years back. And everything around me is moving. People walking around me balled up in the floor. What? No, that's not me. And when the Spirit revealed that to me, I realized that, hey, I'm not finna give up not another second. Not one more second. Thinking about somebody else and what they doing and why they didn't do this and why they didn't do that. Or trying to figure somebody out. It's not to be figured out. It's not to be figured out. All you need to know is that, hey, what is going on don't sit well in your spirit. And how you know some don't sit well in your spirit is because you will eventually start to have some physical ailments. People like to say, "Oh, I got anxiety. I got depression. Oh, I have problems digesting my food." No, you got a problem with people. You got a problem with your thoughts. You got a problem with the activities you indulge in. And what I mean by that, that means you dealing with the wrong people. You engaging in the wrong activities. You putting up with the wrong ish. To the point where your body is no longer giving you subtle nudges. It's got to make you sick. It's got to make you hyperventilate. It's got to make your heart palpitate. It's got to make your stomach cramp. How I know? Because I was there. I was to a point where I didn't want to leave the house because I didn't know what I might do. To the point where I wasn't even comfortable with myself. And so I had to get a hold of that thing and figure out, why am I feeling this, this anxiety? Why is it I'm feeling almost ill when I got to deal with certain people or go into certain environments? It's because I didn't have a control of my thoughts. And you have to know that you are the captain of your thoughts. You don't just allow thoughts to enter into your head and take residence. You are the captain. And so when a thought comes to your mind that doesn't sit well with you or is not in line with the positive outlook that you got going on, you need to speak to that thing. Don't just let a thought come up and let it just sit up in your head. Thoughts of fear and failure. No. And please, 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 I love you so much. That's why I'm here. Don't take this as that I'm yelling or I'm fussing or anything like that. I'm passionate. I'm passionate. I'm not talking down to anybody. It's just the conversation that needs to be had. And I hope that I'm reaching some young people right here. You can save yourself a lot of heartache. You can save yourself years and decades of entanglement with the wrong person. And and you can love this person, but it is not the person that you should be tied to for the rest of your life. It's not the person that you should be in a relationship with. Because at this particular point in time, that person needs help. And if you are caught up in trying to rescue them, you need help too. And you need to know that. You need to know that because there are situations where people feel like they have to rescue somebody. And there are people who have problems with attachments because they don't want to be alone and they don't want to feel like they've been abandoned and things that happened to them when they were children. Well, you're not a child now and you can make decisions for yourself, but you may have to revisit these childhood traumas or situations that may have led to you holding on to people that should be let go of. It's important that you know what to hold on to and what to let go of. I'm going to say that again. It's important for you to know what to hold on to and what to let go of. And everybody that you love is not meant to stay around, especially if they disturb you emotionally or if there's some type of abuse or they have some type of lifestyle patterns that don't sit well with where you're going and what you want out of life. So that means you need to know what you want out of life. You need to know what you want in a partner. You need to know what is negotiable and what is, a deal breaker as it relates to relationships in your life. You know, I love you so much, all of you. And that's why I want to share this message with you. Don't feel guilty if you feel the need to step away from a relationship that is disturbing your mental and physical well-being, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being. If it's getting in the way of the things you're trying to do to become successful in your life, that's a distraction. And if you're with a person who is constantly trying to distract you from being the best version of yourself, you got to ask yourself, are they really for you? Because I submit to you, if you're a driven person and you have goals and you're working toward those goals and the person you're with don't have any goals and their life is not going the way that they would like it to go, they'll sabotage it. And it may seem very subtle, But in many times, they'll sabotage it because they don't want you to do better than they're doing. And no, they're not going to come out and say it. And yes, they will still act loving. But the time when if you're in college, if it's the time that you should be studying and you got a heavy course load and you have exams and quizzes and speeches and all these things to prepare for, and here you have a person who don't have those things to deal with, they calling you right in the midst of the time that you should be having your nose to the grindstone so that you could be the best version of you. They're calling you, and not just the chit chat, but because chit chatting is, you ain't got time for that at that particular moment. But not only are they just calling it chit chat, but sometimes they're just calling to get in your head to distract you clearly from what you're doing. So your focus is on them. Oh, woe, it's me. I got this going on. I feel so bad about me. Well, that's not your problem. When a person tell you, I feel bad about me. I got this going on. I got that going on. So now they need you to be their cheerleader. They need you to be their counselor. They need you to be the one lifting them up and Hercules in them and patting them on the back. And it got you feeling guilty that if you're not there for them, they might do something to hurt themselves. They need help. Help that you can't give them. And you're fooling yourself if you're thinking that you can rescue somebody. And you're fooling yourself if you think you're going to change somebody.